Hello and welcome to the Greg Fearon podcast with your host Greg Fearon. And today I have probably one of my favourite guests ever. It's Leeann, who we rap together. We talk a lot, and you do my workouts, and I program for you for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
So Leeann, over to you. Welcome to the show, and just do a quick reintroduction because I know you've been on before.
Okay, so I'm Leeann, as Greg said, and I've only just really started working with Greg for a couple of months now in terms of fitness, but we've been doing Facebook Live interviews and stuff for quite a while now. So I'm obviously obsessed with fitness as well, and helping women like Greg is getting fit and healthy, and busy mum with a business, and still managed to fit it in. So we're helping everyone else realise they can too.
Awesome. And it's funny, you just reminded me, and this is really funny. So for those of you who are listening or watching this on YouTube, me and Leeann have never actually met in the flesh.
Yeah.
We started talking because it was a Terry Ann that put us in touch.
Terry Ann, yeah.
Yeah, because you were struggling with training or something. And
it was hormones. I wanted to know about hormones and training. And I think I'd posted something on Instagram saying about not training during my menstrual cycle or something along those lines, and Terry Ann tagged you underneath it and said, "Oh, you need to speak to my mate Greg." And I feel like I've known you my whole life since then, and now here we are, and we still haven't even met in person yet. So
well, yeah. Legs better than we'll do leg day. You have to go easy on me, but we'll training and stuff, so I'm looking forward to it. So today we wanted to just talk about the kind of top 10 things that we think that the women that we help and coach who are stressed out, trying to understand this whole fitness and mindset stuff, what they need. Mm-hmm. So I think we should, dive into it. It's going to be fun discussion. And I think anyone listening, if you think this is going to be valuable to anyone else, feel free to share it, write a review on Apple. But I think this will be awesome. So let's dive in. What's number one on the list?
So number one on my list for getting started is your why. What is your why and what is the goal? Because without that, there's nothing else to add underneath that, because you don't know what you're aiming for.
Definitely. So in your perception of what you've seen, do you think people skip the why bit?
100%. I think a lot of people will, for example, see an image that they like or a body type that they like and pick it as if they're shopping. I want to look like that, and forget there's not even really a thought of why they want to look like that. They just want to look like that because they think that person's attractive, when really you're setting yourself up to fail because you're not doing it for yourself. You're just doing it for an outward image.
Nice. That makes sense. Yeah, no, totally. I think we do look for extrinsic motivation. So people might see a before and after of a client, and they're like, wow, that's motivated me to do it. But one of the things I start all my clients with is understanding their why, just as you said.
Yeah.
Because I think
number one.
Sorry?
It is number one.
So if there's not enough emotion in it, I don't think you'll move forward, because you've had them days when you don't feel like training, right?
Oh, all the time, especially now in lockdown. I've not trained a lot in lockdown now. And it's just because my mindset shifted a little bit, my motivation's gone a little bit, I'm out of routine. So it's completely normal to do that. It's just having the motivation to know when you need to push through to get it done, or whether actually I'm going to have a relaxed day and that's okay.
Yep. I mean, there's been many a time when I've walked into the gym and I'm sat there and I'm watching everyone train, and I'm like, I cannot be asked to train.
Yeah.
But my why, and I have to share one of them, is one of my whys is that I don't want my son to have to worry about looking after me. So I have to stay strong.
Yes.
That. So that's my why. And also to beat him in a fight, right? I need to.
Yes. I still want to be able to pick up my 14-year-old, even though he's taller than me.
Awesome.
Because I'm sure I will never have to chase him or pin him down or anything, but if I ever need to, I would just pick him up and say, no, listen to me, boy.
I could just see you doing that as well.
Yeah, like, come here, come back.
Nice.
But my why is similar as well. So wanting to be, and being able to keep up with the children, because it's tiring. I don't want to take them to the park to play football and sit on the sideline watching while they exercise. I want to run around with them.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely. So, and then you mentioned the goal as well. Like, I think people don't really set goals that are what we call smart. They don't set goals that they're just like, I want to get this goal of X amount of weight in that time. But then they don't make it smart.
Yeah. So they're just looking at the end result again, aren't they? So they just want to get a six pack, for example. I want to get a six pack, and then let's say that they do manage to get a six pack, which isn't very. It's not going to happen, but if you do get a six pack, what happens when you get there? Because you need to keep analysing what it is that you're aiming towards, and then moving the goalpost. So it's a journey. It's not a one-stop thing, which I think a lot of people struggle with.
Definitely. I've got a part I want to talk about on that later, but I'll come back to that. So what's number 2 on the list?
So number 2 is what is it that you enjoy doing? So I mean this in terms of, so you know your why and you know where you want to get to, but what are you going to enjoy along the journey to get you to your goal? So if you want to lose 5 stone, or you want to build muscles or biceps or whatever, but you hate going to the gym or you hate cardio, you need to find something that you're going to actually enjoy doing. So I know me and you have had a discussion along these lines before, and we have to do a little bit of stuff that we don't enjoy or we feel uncomfortable with. But if you find a exercise class or a method of working out that will get you to your goal that you enjoy more than another one, then you're going to be more compliant, you're going to love it, you're going to want to go, and so it's going to make it easier.
Definitely. No, I think you're right. I think where I used to run boot camps and stuff, and it's actually ironic that I stopped doing them because I fell out of love with them. My own reasons, and I'll explain that another time. But the camaraderie, the family environment, I do miss that a lot. I do miss having people around me, and I think it made people turn up more.
Yeah, it's a community, isn't it? It is a community. It takes away a bit. It's just not as personal, is it?
Yeah, if you're new to exercise and stuff, and you can go into a group with maybe 10 or 12 of you where you're going to be looked after, you're going to have support, then that can be an awesome introduction into
it is a great starting point. It really is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of ladies who are just starting out, I think maybe a group training program might be pretty good for them.
Like, the strength that comes with turning up to something with a friend, it takes away a lot of anxiety. So if you've got a friend that's going to come along with you, you can have completely opposite goals, but you're doing something together that's new, then it's not scary. And once you've been once, twice, maybe 3 times, and then your friend can't make it, you're more likely to go again because you've already been before with somebody else, so you know what to expect.
Awesome. So number 2 was, ladies, get a friend, go and do something you enjoy.
Make it fun.
At least to start out with, right? At least to get that foundation started.
You need to make it fun. And I mean, like me and you, we appreciate, so when we work out, whatever workout we're doing, that endorphin rush of feeling good, feeling strong, we love that feeling. So that's what we're chasing. If you're new to exercise and you've not done fitness before, you don't know that feeling. So you're going to be anxious. So you need to kind of find something fun first, so then you can feel that feeling. And then once you realise how amazing it feels exercising, then you're happy to go again.
Except for when you get DOMs on that first session. Oh my God.
Yeah. Your leg, when you get to train first, when you get your cast off, your leg is going to be so sore.
Don't give me nightmares about it already. All right, what's number 3 on the list?
Okay, so number 3 is accountability.
Woo! Wow.
These are in no complete order. This is just how it came out as I was writing my list.
No.
So accountability is who's going to keep you on track. So you've got your why, you've got your goal. Oh, I've got one already. We're only on number 3. Yes. They need to watch the others, don't they, to know about that.
You don't know.
Who's going to keep you on track? So you've got your why, you've got your goal, you've found out how you're going to do it. But when you always dip, it's a roller coaster. Like you might feel down or something might happen and it throws you off track a little bit. But if you've got someone like a coach or a friend that you're on the same journey with, or a good support network, someone's going to say, hey, you're supposed to be working out 3 times a week. I haven't seen you leave for the gym. And then sometimes that's all you need, is someone to be realizing that you're slipping and to give you a little nudge back back, because it's hard to do it all on your own, and it's a lot of steps, and you need someone to support you.
I think accountability is probably the most underrated thing in anything, and it's really weird, right? So we all have jobs, or people have had jobs 9 to 5, whatever it is you do, but you've always got a manager who's supposed to keep you accountable.
Yeah.
And obviously that makes workplaces, businesses successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't transfer that into our personal lives.
No.
And then we
don't want to. We get sick of it at work. We don't want it at home.
But we know it works, right? So it's like,
of course. Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute, I'm going to go round and round in circles. But then when I find clients get accountability, the results just go like that.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
It's like the days when I can't bother, and you know that I'm on the phone.
I find when someone puts someone in a place where they are able to hold them accountable, then they are 100% committed, because they know they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone doesn't want to put someone in place where they can hold them accountable, it's because they know they're already not going to see it through.
Yes. And I think that's where you kind of need to recognize that feeling. And if you've got a good coach, like for me, I probably spend more time talking about the mindset stuff and getting people through stuff rather than calories and macros and stuff.
So that's the icing on the top, isn't it? That's that's right at the top. It's the underlayers you need to fix first.
Exactly. When they're struggling, and then sometimes for me, I'll say to someone, well, okay, well, don't train 3 times this week. Make sure you get 3 or 4 walks in this week. How does that sound? Awesome. Cool. Do it. And it keeps them moving forward. Definitely. Okay. Cool. What's next?
Okay, so the next one is choose your circle. Will they be supporting you?
Whoa, fire.
This is fire. So this one hurts a lot, especially in the beginning, because sometimes you take a step back and you'll have a look at the people you've got around you, and you've got these big, lovely, healthy goals that are really going to push you and make you feel good about life. And then sometimes you look around you and the people that are closest to you don't share them goals. And it can actually be quite sad, because some people don't want to get better and they want to keep you at their level.
Yep.
And sometimes they don't mean it horribly, but that person's not ready to grow and isn't looking to grow. Mm-hmm. They don't want you to get better, because then their worry is that you're going to outgrow them. So they're going to do everything in their power to keep you down. Yeah.
The rusty nail syndrome. Like, if you've got the friends that are always going, oh, come to the pub on Friday, we'll have a few drinks and drown our sorrows.
Yay.
That's the one that gets you into the pub on a Friday night, that then makes you eat like a nutter on a Saturday. For one word, I couldn't really think of the word I wanted to use. And then that could it keeps making that cycle. So
Greg, I just need to open the door 1 second. Okay, okay.
So we had a bit of a short interlude there, people. Sorry about that. But we're back. So just talking about where you were in terms of the circle that you were talking about.
Yeah, so you've probably heard this before, where you become the equivalent of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So a perfect example of this is, I don't know, so you're hanging around with a new person, or one of your circles got a new phrase. This is number 1. So someone started a new phrase, like, I don't know, like bruv or something, like my teenage son does, and you will realise that you'll spend a lot of time with this person, and this word will start coming out without you even realising. So what you're subconsciously absorbing everything that's around you, and you're slowly becoming your environment. So you need to make sure it's people that, they don't have to be on the same path as you, but they need to be on the same mindset, discipline, and understanding that you've got certain goals to reach, and you can't be doing things that are going to not help you get there.
It's been really interesting to see. So obviously, since I hurt my leg, I've obviously posted about it a little bit and stuff, but the amount of people that are telling me to rest.
Yeah. Rest up. And I'm sitting there going, are you telling me I need to rest for the next 6 months? When I get to 6 months, I'm going to be a mess. Yeah.
So I'm going to keep training.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm trying to plug into the people that push me and who are saying, well, you can still do upper body, you can still do core, you can do some work on the left side because that's my weaker side. So get that strong while that other side recovers. And the amount of people that will try and pull you down and they don't even realize they're doing it.
No.
That's the thing. It's like, it's the accepted society norm that if you're injured, you rest.
Yeah, because you've now got the perfect excuse to do nothing. That's all it is. If someone says to you, you're so lazy, why don't you do anything? I've got an injury. No one can argue with you. So all you literally have is the best excuse. That's all it is. Another one, yes. And like my dad's recently just had his knee joint like hoovered out. They've like cleaned the joint and reattached his ligament on one of his kneecaps. And he was up moving after 2 days. And he said, if I sit still, I'm seizing up. Even though it hurts, it's going to hurt regardless. So I'm going to keep moving. Now he's walking perfectly after a week.
So how many people said to him, oh, you need to rest?
Yeah. I even said it though, Greg. I said it. Because almost like you're caring because you want them to be better, so you want them to rest and not overdo it. But actually, he's right. He needs to be moving, and your body heals better by being active and getting the oxygen and the blood round, and that's how we heal. And we know that. But no, you rest, put your leg up, and let it seize up and not move and get stagnant. It's just society, isn't it? It's just conditioning. That's all it is.
So that's such a great point. All right, I'm going to hold that one there because we could talk about this. So that's a whole nother podcast.
That is a whole nother podcast.
Right, yeah. What's on your list? What's next on your list?
Okay, so next on my list is, and this is a really big one, and this kind of ties into the first one, which is your why. But are you doing it for you? Which I think is a massive question because, again, going back to what we said at the beginning, have you seen an image and you just wish you looked like that? Are you pining after something that's unrealistic? Are you doing it because someone's made a comment that you've got big hips? Well, I want small hips because such and such has said they're big. So that you're not doing it for, you need to be like, I want to feel better for myself. I'm doing this because I deserve to feel better for myself and I want to be fit and healthy for whatever reason. You need to make sure you are just doing it and knowing that you're worth whatever it is that you're aiming for. So you're allowed to be better.
You just hit the perfect point I was just going to talk about and ask about. Was often what I find is when people come to work with me, ladies come and work with me, they haven't felt like they deserve to invest in themselves to train. So what happens is I'm not gonna invest in training or nutrition or mindset coaching because Christmas is coming. I'll tell you what I'll do. In the new year, I'll do it then. Oh, hang on a minute. Easter's coming, school holidays.
Yeah.
I need to make sure the kids have got everything they want. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, but there's also the bank holiday weekends. So I don't want to, And often that procrastination is just you putting yourself down the priority list every time.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest. Obviously, we know that there's poverty in the world and all the rest of it. I totally get that.
Yeah.
If most people really looked at what they spend on stuff, and often it's stuff for the kids as well. Like, I think children don't need as much as we think they do.
Yeah.
But people
need time. They like time. They want to sit down with a pack of cards that cost 99p with their mum or dad or auntie or whoever, and let's play Snap. And that will be the best hour of their life. But we go. They don't need plastic too. They don't need it.
No, I've got to splash out on an iPad for Willie because But what Willie also then sees, Willie, who's got a kid called Willie, by the way?
Someone will have a kid called Willie.
Sorry, if anyone.
Of all the names. Oh dear.
But.
Such an idiot.
That's just cracked me up.
Oh dear.
Don't get me wrong. It's nice to give them the latest gadget and all the rest of it. But what they're also seeing is, rather than you investing in yourself to learn, to get coached, to get you help with your nutrition, to solve that gut issue, to deal with that bad hip you've got, all they're seeing is that you're putting yourself last.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do when they get to that age is go, well, mum did that, and they don't hear it. They just take it in.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're sponges.
oh, mum used to complain about her hip all the time, but she never did anything about it. So when I hurt my hip, I'm just gonna sit and buy another
Yeah.
iPad instead of.
And struggle every single day. So we really need to change the mentality of, if something doesn't feel right, you go and get it seen to. So, well, no, we've spoken about this loads of times, but if it was your car, if your car had a flat tire, you wouldn't carry on driving around on it, like, oh, it'll be all right. No, it won't be all right. A bit like it won't be all right if your hip keeps popping out because you're walking down the stairs. Go and have it looked at and fixed. I mean, like, you're, why are you not a top priority? You really do need your body. It's really quite important. It just baffles me, but
It's because
conditioning again.
Yeah, it's conditioning because our parents used to suffer, and they used to do that whole thing. Oh, I've got to do it for my kids. Got to do it for my kids, and that was always a justification to not work on themselves. And until you realise that, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you want, when your children are older and they're young adults, you want them to be looking after themselves and being fit and healthy. You don't want them to be sitting around moping with achy joints and their health deteriorating just because they're aging.
Well, I think it's almost accepted by a lot of people that you can't be strong when you get past kind of 40, 50, 60. Like, one of the clients I loved the most was a lady, Lorna, who she's an amazing woman, but she had scoliosis of her spine. So her spine, when she first came to me, she was like, I just don't feel strong. And it was amazing watching her be able to start doing inverted rows. So I got her underneath a bar and she was doing inverted rows.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't think I could ever do that with my back.
Yeah.
And
you won't if you tell yourself that.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that. So that's the key. That's the key. All right. Next.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, so this is a massive one as well. And when I started, this was like a huge issue for me. And I think everybody in any aspect of life is being open to being the beginner. Yeah. And I mean, it is horrible. I'll put my hands up. I suffer with anxiety, social anxiety, being in big groups, being in new places throws me like in a whirlwind of just madness. But once you've been once or twice, or you've been with a friend and you're brave, you reap the rewards. And then you love it and you'll keep going back. And I think everybody had this a little bit, like, you don't want to be the person there that doesn't know what they're doing. And you just assume that when you go to a fitness class, for example, that everyone is going to be an athlete and you're going to be this person who doesn't know what they're doing and everyone's going to be looking at you. Everyone has got the same worries. No one gives a crap about you because they're worrying that everyone's thinking about them.
I think people think that, like, when I came out of the womb, the first thing I did was do a press up, or I got a kettlebell and started swinging. I didn't want to feed. I didn't want to have like some breast milk. I didn't want to do that.
That's it.
I came out of a kettlebell doing kettlebells.
Yeah, I came out squatting.
Yeah, it's just, and it's funny because obviously we tell our kids that, and obviously I'm a parent, your parent. We tell our kids that it's okay you have to learn and you need to fail and all that stuff. And we don't take that on ourselves.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me once as well that you did the same training program for 12 weeks.
Yes.
Like the same exercises with the same reps. 12 weeks in a row. And for most people, that is mind blowing. They're like, what? But I think that's brilliant. That's perfect.
That was the foundation to me getting into fitness. And because I literally had no clue what I was doing, I was following my husband around like, oh, everyone's looking at me, I'm doing it wrong, don't make me go on my own. I would pay for a creche for the baby, it's not baby now, but for the youngest, I would pay for a creche so we could both go together, so I could follow him around and be like, am I doing it right? Are you sure? Oh no, it's too heavy. Oh, I won't be able to lift that. And in the end, he was like, will you shut up moaning? Like, you either do it or you don't. And I just followed that plan, and he printed it off, and I had a little scrap of paper and a little book, and I wrote down what weight I did, and it was the same exercise 3 times a week, the whole body, compound movements, and after 12 weeks, I mean, there wasn't really physical changes, but mentally and my confidence and knowledge of being in the gym just built the perfect platform for me then to build on.
Amen. We'll leave
Yeah.
it with that, people. A basic plan for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Cool. What's next?
Okay, so this one.
What number are we on, by the way?
We are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on number 7.
Number 7, people.
Number 7.
Okay.
Okay. And I think this ties in a little bit with accountability as well. But this one is ask for help whenever you need it. Because again, if you are doing something new, you are not going to know it all. And even if you try researching it, there is so much conflicting information everywhere. You need someone to help guide you that is already in an understanding of what it is that you're trying to achieve. Yeah, so don't be afraid of asking help.
I think it's the big challenge with the internet nowadays is obviously the internet has got all of this information.
Yeah.
But what you have to understand is it's always someone's perspective.
Yeah.
But until I see you squat, whatever you've learned or seen or read doesn't make a difference. So actually, yeah, you might need someone to go, well, I notice you can't squat. Let's experiment. Let's turn the toes out a bit. Let's work on some ankle mobility. Let's do a box squat for a minute, or just do a wall squat first. Let's regress it.
Yeah.
Then, oh, actually, that looks too light for you. Get some more weight on the bar.
Exactly that.
And you can apply that variable to everything, even when it comes to nutrition, because nutrition. If you read one article, it tells you intermittent fasting is great. Another article will tell you that intermittent fasting isn't great for women. So, but until you have that outside perspective and someone who can take a step back and look at you as a whole, you're just going to be lost going round and round in circles.
And as an individual as well, you need someone who, so like me and you, we know each other as individuals, so you know what fits my fitness needs and nutritional needs, rather than every Tom, Dick and Harry on the internet. Like, it needs to be personal to you, so you need to be able to have it applied to your needs.
Well, it's that thing when what was the first question I asked you before I started to put together your programming was, what's the goal?
Yeah.
And it was interesting. The first thing you said to me was, oh my God, I love my program.
Yeah.
Because we take time to go, okay, what's she like? What does she talk about? What does she love? What does she need to do? Because I think there has to be an element of that.
Of course.
And that's what it's about, though. You have to make it as synergistic to that person.
And that brings it back to the fun aspect as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So then you're more compliant.
Yeah. So you've got stuff in your program, for example, I know you hate me for.
Yeah, but I'll do it because I know it will work.
But there's also fun stuff that you love.
Yeah, loads of fun stuff.
Yeah. So it's finding, I wouldn't say balance, because I think balance is an overused word. I think we use balance. But I think, yeah, you have to have someone who can take a step back and go, we need to work on these things as well as have that fun. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Number 8.
Okay, so number 8 is one small change at a time. Don't try and do it all.
Carry on.
Would you like an example?
Of course.
So New Year will be here soon, and it will be January the 1st. We've all pigged out on junk food. We all feel rubbish. We've all drank too much. And if we smoke, we've probably smoked too much. So on this first day of the new year, we are going to eat healthy. We're going to stop smoking. We're going to stop drinking. We're going to drink loads of water, and we're going to exercise. All these things that we've not done for probably over a month now, because Christmas food is already in the shops. It's just way too much. That's so overwhelming. You need to just little steps at a time. So whichever is more important for you at the time to stop first, focus on that.
Amen. Amen. I've got a saying that I picked up. I can't remember where I read it, but basically it said, if you spend your life, and I talk about the women I work with, kind of 10, 20, 30, 40 years not being consistent with your exercise, not consistent with your sleep, not looking after yourself, not nourishing yourself and your brain and your body, being in bad relationships, And that's not just with a partner, that's just with friends, family, all the rest of it. And then you say you're going to do all of those things on your list. You've walked so far into the woods. You've walked into the woods for 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And now you want to teleport yourself from in the woods to out the woods in 1 week.
I love it. I love
Who
it.
does that? Who does
and
that?
probably compete. You want to compete as well by the time you've been in the gym for a week.
Yeah. Who does that? So that thing of, if you walked into the woods, no matter how far you walked into the woods, you have to walk back out to get the other side.
Exactly. I love that. That is so spot on. Spot on.
Feeling the fire on that one.
Always.
I'm passionate about it.
So one little thing at a time.
Yeah. And I think, I was talking to another awesome person, Tamu Thomas, about this. She's down, for people listening, she's on Instagram as Live360. But we were talking about, especially the industry we're in, and just kind of coaching in general. It's all about these 90-day goals. 90 days. 90 days.
Yeah.
But that 90 days needs to go into a bigger picture. For some people, 90 days is nothing. That's 3 months out of a life of, if you're 40 years old, I can't even do the maths right now.
I was going to say, I'm going to be so impressed if you give me the answer right now.
Hold on. No. What's 4 12s? 52. Right, so 520 months of your life. Woohoo!
I'm impressed.
Someone's going to come back to me and go, that was wrong. But anyway, actually, no, it's 48.
Oh, you're checking?
Yeah, no, I just thought about it. So,
okay.
Yeah, so even 480 months, right, of your life.
Yeah. 3
of those is like nothing. And actually, the goal is to carry on. And often the results that are the best that I see with clients are the ones who work with me the longest.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're
holding them accountable. They've got you there for help.
Yeah. But the journey isn't just 90 days.
No, of course. And it's like, and we're going to see a lot of this in the new year as well, leading up to Christmas. Come and do my 5-day detox or juice or whatever it is. But the thing is, like, you need to learn new healthy lifestyle habits that are going to serve you for the rest of your life. It's not, you don't get healthy in a week and then your body's just healthy forever after that. It's not going to reward you like that. It doesn't work. It has to be every single day. And it doesn't have to be really, really healthy athlete eating every single day. It just needs to be the majority of the time you look after yourself and have a few treats here and there for balance. Greg's favourite word. There is no time scale. How long have you been into fitness and looking after yourself, Greg?
Lord, I guess I started really getting into it about age 12, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say there have been times when I've been overweight, massively overweight. I think there's been times where I've just not looked after myself.
Yeah.
But I realised that this is a lifelong pursuit. So.
But I think we need to experience that as well. So I've been overweight, underweight, healthy, strong, not healthy, all of those things. And I think as a coach, especially when you felt like that, you know how your clients are feeling. So you've got their perspective and you know how they feel. So then you can help them progress.
Understand? Basically, people, it's not just a 90-day transformation. It's funny, I talked about that in our free group. But anyway, that's another conversation.
We could go on forever, couldn't we?
Of course.
Okay, so next 9.
one. Oh, is this number 9 now, right?
Yeah, this is number 9. I can't even read my own notes.
So before you go to number 9,
yeah,
does that mean I get number 10?
You get number 10.
Woohoo! All right.
Yeah, you get number 10. Seeing as it's your podcast and I brought the 9, you can have at least one.
Sharing is caring, right?
Yeah, teamwork, to be fair. It's teamwork.
If you notice, right, whoever's listening to this, can you hear this, how it is, right? It's like, it's my podcast, but she takes a lion's share. For all the men listening, this is how it is in life.
This is why it works.
Yeah, exactly. I just
let the women talk.
Amen.
Right, you know. Are you ready for number 9?
I'm ready for number 9. Let's go.
It's a big one. It's a good one. You've got to be ready to feel uncomfortable.
Ooh.
Yeah. So new places, I know we've touched on this a little bit, new places, new people, new levels of like achievement, people that are on, maybe you might see better than you, new circles of friends, all of this stuff, you're going to feel well out of place, but you need to embrace it. Do not run away. Go back to the sofa with your tin of Quality Streets with EastEnders. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get in that field at boot camp and get muddy and make yourself enjoy it.
Yeah, I think there's a really big thing that there's two things, there's two perspectives on this. I think, like, for us, exercise feels good.
Yeah.
So actually, we only get uncomfortable when we have to do things we don't like.
But you must burpees. Did you say burpees?
Oh
no. But at some point, even if it was when you were 12, Greg, at some point you was a beginner and you would have felt uncomfortable because you haven't done it before.
Yep, I remember the first time because I used to run. I used to be a sprinter. I remember the first athletics training session we did in the winter training session, right? And I'll just quickly tell you what it was like: a 400-meter run, then a 300-meter run, then a 200-meter run, then a 100-meter run. Short rest. Then we had to do 100, 200, 300, 400. I was sick.
Did you throw up?
Twice, I think.
But you did it.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Yeah. And for the next 2 days, I said to my dad, I don't want to go back to athletics. Like, I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, because you didn't like it because you was uncomfortable.
It's horrible.
You had to push your boundaries. Did you go back?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Because I bet even though it was uncomfortable, you threw up and it was hard, you liked it, you felt good because you'd done it.
Yeah, the feeling of looking up at the stars, because it was winter, so obviously it was dark at like 7 o'clock. Looking up and going, all right, I've been sick on myself, but I did it. Okay.
You did it. Ooh, it's still an accomplishment, isn't it? No one cares what happens afterwards. You got it done.
Got it done.
Yeah, you get it done.
JFDI.
What? Why?
I can't. Okay, this is going to be a clean show, but just do it.
Okay, I get it now.
Cool.
You didn't pre-warn me. There was no swearing.
Too late.
I think I've done pretty well actually. This one.
Yeah, done awesome.
Yeah. So you need, if you're especially if you've got anxiety or stuff, I think a lot of people who aren't into fitness will feel some sort of beginner anxiety. You need to just embrace it, and that comes back to your why as well. You need to make sure your why is so important that it doesn't matter how uncomfortable you feel, because you need to get this done to get to where you want to go.
Have you ever felt uncomfortable in a kind of fitness or in a business or any other?
Oh, all the time. If I'm not feeling uncomfortable, then I'm not working hard enough.
Yeah.
Like when I first started training, like I hated my body after I had my youngest. I felt like a frumpy mum. I saw a picture and I was just like, that is not what I want my body to look like. So I made Colin hold me accountable begrudgingly, and I took myself to the gym and I hated every second of it for at least 2 months. I wouldn't go by myself. I was scared I wasn't doing it right. I probably weren't even wearing like proper gym clothes. I was just wearing normal clothes like my comfies, because I just didn't want to be there, but I wanted the results so much I made him make me go, and now I'm here, so now it's comfortable.
Awesome. Unless I make you do horrible home training sessions, right?
Yeah, so and so I'm still doing it now. So I've been training for 6 years nearly, and I'm still, so now a workout becomes easy, and then Greg throws me some moves that I've never even heard of. I've had to Google the names, and I'm like, what the hell is this? But I'm embracing it because I know it fits in with my goals.
As someone once said to me, if it's not raining, you ain't training.
Love that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's an amazing list. I think you've knocked it out of the park.
I always do, Greg, to be fair. Like,
woo, fire.
Don't doubt me.
I would never doubt you. That's why.
No, we have the best podcast. We do. We literally just say it how it is, and we just answer it all.
Just go with it. So I'm going to do number 10.
Yeah. Come on.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
And nutrition isn't as important as what people think it is. And everyone's listening to this going, what? What about calories? What about macros? So here's the thing. it doesn't matter per se about the nutrition strategy, low carb, high carb, keto, intermittent fasting, high protein, medium protein, whatever, slimming world. It doesn't matter so much about that. The big thing that everyone needs to understand, and the ladies listening to this needs to understand, that the biggest issue is about the identity you have with yourself and the identity that you want to be.
Yeah.
And you have a choice.
Yeah. Every second of every day.
Amen. Whether you're on a keto plan, if your identity pulls you back to, well, I'm going to have chocolate and donuts 3 times a week, 4 times a week, then keto isn't going to work. It doesn't matter about the diet plan. It's about you being willing to make a choice to leave the old identity behind and claim your new one.
Yeah.
It's a bit like a snake. You know, a snake, every few months or whatever, it has to grow out of its skin and go into got new skin underneath. But you have to be uncomfortable. You have to get out of that itchy skin because, you know, you snakes, I'm a bit of a weirdo. I love wildlife, right? I'm David Attenborough is my hero. Yeah. But the snakes are trying to like wiggle and they're trying to get the old skin off them. Yeah. But for a lot of the ladies that I work with, the old identity will pull them back. Of course. But they really want this identity out here. You need to want to be more in the new identity than the old identity. And nutrition, yes, it's important. Training is important. Sleep is important. Your environment. Your environment is important. But ultimately, if in here, you are still the old identity of, I go to the pub every weekend, I do all these behaviors, I don't sleep, I don't drink my water, I don't eat vegetables, then it's not going to happen. Exactly. Woo! It's just not. You can't even argue with it. That's it. Full stop. I think we just smashed it out of the park again. Exactly that. So, that was the first re-episode of the Greg Fearon podcast. Yeah. So thank you, Leeann. It's been a ball as always. Oh, thank you for having me. I love it. As always. So, ladies who are listening, if you want to hear from me and Leeann a bit more, we do kind of co-host a free Facebook group, which I'll put the link to in comments. Come in and join. I have a couple of rules. You have to engage. We want people who are going to be engaged and who want to learn and improve themselves. But you'll have lives in there. We've got all sorts going on there, so that's awesome. Leeann, where can people follow you? Because you can find me on Instagram, so it's leeann.doherty, and there's loads of fitness and health stuff on there. A lot of motivational stuff as well for us women. Awesome stuff. And yeah, if as I said at the beginning, if you think this is a valuable podcast, then feel free to share it with your friends and engage and leave a review. So looking forward to the next episodes. We're gonna have some fun. We'll have some fun people on. Leeann will be back. Don't worry, people. Yeah, I will be. Cool. All right. Thank you for coming on. And that's all right. Thank you. My pleasure. Bye. Bye.